Okay, so now we're going to go over the ports on this side of the laptop. Up top here, which is interesting, the first time I looked at it, I didn't actually notice it, but if you can see here, these are actually media playback buttons. So stop, forward, play, pause, and back. So that's actually a pretty slick place to put them. Kudos to HP for doing that. We have an air vent port here. We have S-Video out. S-Video, not really all that commonly used anymore. We also have VGA out. I would love to have seen this be a DVI port. I'd much rather have a DVI port here and have to use an adapter if I'm hooking up to an old school projector. But putting VGA to me just seems kind of lame because of course if you're going to use this hooked up to a desktop monitor and run fairly high res, you want to use DVI if possible. There's an expansion port here that's probably for docking stations. There's Ethernet. There's no indication on the side of the box whether or not this is 100 megabit or gigabit, so I'm going to assume it's 100 megabit and I'll verify that. Another USB port over here, which is nice because now that means we've discovered 3 USB ports in total, and that is 1 USB port more than my Dell XPS M1330 has. Now down here, this looks like it's going to be a port for a stylus, and there's nothing actually there, so I'll have to see if I found a stylus, although it's interesting, I don't remember. Actually, maybe not. Maybe this is for the extra antenna. Who knows? So confusing. All right, now we're going to look at the front of the unit here. On the front here, we have a microphone input jack. We have 2 headphone jacks. I've seen this on a lot of laptops. My Dell unit has this as well. It's really handy actually because if you're doing any traveling and people want to watch a movie together, it's really cool to be able to do this rather than having to carry an extra adapter. So that's pretty sweet. Over here we have the power button, and then on the last side we have the DVD burner, 8-speed DVD, light scribe. This is the express card slot. So this is where you put the express card, and I'm going to verify my hypothesis by putting this in here and seeing if it fits, and yes it does. So if you don't have an express card that you need to carry with you, you can put the remote directly in there, and I'm actually not 100% sure what this port right above it is. That's kind of intriguing. I'm going to hope that that is a memory card slot. There's actually no indicators in terms of icons. It had better be a memory card slot, because if it's not, then I'll be ticked off, because any laptop that doesn't come with a memory card slot in my book is not much of a laptop. Now we'll move it back here and crack this sucker open. Okay, as you can see, it caught a little bit there opening. So here's the inside of the unit, and again, it's kind of hard for me to show this all here. We have cursors, we have the mouse pad here, we have a whole mess of stickers. This has to be one of my biggest pet peeves with laptops, just in terms of out-of-box experience. I know that it's running Windows Vista because I bought it that way. I know it has LightScribe. I know it's got an AMD NVIDIA. I know it's got Wi-Fi, and I don't really care if it's Wacom pen enabled. I mean, I might if I was an artist or something, but do I really need, all these stickers? And then this is probably going to be impossible to see, especially over YouTube, but there's actually some sticker gunk right below this sticker here. So what I always end up doing is I always end up, peeling off all these stickers, and then you got to spend, 20 or 30 minutes, getting rid of all the gunk. And I just really wish these manufacturers would realize that a customer tends to not want to have a whole bunch of junky stickers here, just as they tend to not want to have a whole bunch of trialware programs on their PC. So maybe one day I'll buy a new laptop and it won't be covered with crappy stickers. I should point out over here that it actually says SD, MS Pro, MMC, and XD. So the slot that I was curious about and guessed at that was a memory card, that's exactly what it is. So nice that that is there. Switching back to the laptop itself, up here in the top corner, a little bit hard to see, we have volume control, up, down, and there's an actual a hardware mute button. So one button mute, really good to have. Now, the keyboard itself looks to be pretty decent. We have a full-size shift key. Well, actually, this one's a little bit smaller. This one's full-size. That's good. Full-size enter. Also good for the touch typists out there. Not maybe so good, these itty-bitty cursors, but the cursors, because they're at the bottom end of the keyboard, it should be pretty easy to adapt to using those quickly. It gets really irritating when they make the shift key smaller, and if you're a touch typist and you go to pound on the shift key and you can completely miss it, that always sucks. Up here, now these are interesting. These are the function keys, including the delete key, and these are incredibly tiny. I'm actually actually, I don't think I've ever seen keys on the keyboard this small, unless the laptop itself is, you know, like about that big. So these are really little. The delete key is fairly small. Not a big deal because the backspace key is a decent size. And then of course up here we have a couple of other buttons on the actual tablet. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transform. Oh, that's a nice reflection. We're going to transform into slate mode. So now we have the actual unit in slate mode here. Again, it's kind of hard to fit everything. I need a wide angle lens on this camera. That's what I really need. So we have a couple of extra buttons here. We have the fact that we have Altec Lansing speakers. Again, you know, do I really care? I don't know if HP saves, you know, 50 cents per laptop if they let Altec put their logo there, but I would just as soon make that vanish. I don't need to be reminded it's Altec Lansing speakers. We have a button here. I'm assuming it's going to be a screen rotation. A button that has a cog. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of a control panel. And there's a couple buttons here. Actually, I take that back. This one looks like screen rotation. There's a DVD button. Oh, hey, look at that. Now, the laptop is actually booting up here because I guess when I pressed that button, it brought it out of some sort of a suspend state. So it's actually starting to boot, but, you know, we're just going to go ahead and ignore that. Up here we have a microphone, integrated webcam. I'm assuming it's probably, you know, VGA quality, but I will verify that. Second microphone here, so you can do the funky array thing, and that's basically it. Oh, I forgot, there's a fingerprint scanner. So over here, there's the old, you know, swipe the finger over and have it read. I'm not a big fan of most fingerprint scanners because the software, unfortunately, tends to really suck on it, but hopefully HP has better software than Dell has. So that is my quick unboxing and first impressions of the HP tx2051, also known as the HP TX2000. Wasn't that the name of one of the Terminators? I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm actually going to be using this for the next week. I'm actually going to rely on it as my primary laptop while I'm traveling, so I will get a first-hand look in terms of what this laptop is like, how it performs, and whether or not it would make a good replacement for someone who's looking for a fairly small and portable laptop. So, Jason Dunn from Digital Home Thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed both parts of this video, and feel free to rate the video, leave us a comment, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.